Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome. Turn on your videos and turn your mics off so I can see some of you so we can decide what we're doing. Don't worry about what you look like or the background or any of that stuff. And we're still at the Alex. It's just a different background today. Well, here we are. I'll give you all a few minutes to settle. Make sure you got some space to do your thing, right? And I assume I'm seeing, I think one monologue and a couple of show reels. If you want to do a monologue or if you want to do a show reel towards the end of the class, we'll incorporate that, all right? Let's talk about that first of all. There's a documentary I saw once, and it was about battle. It was an group of army people. You're good there? That's okay. There was a group of soldiers, and they were on a battlefield, and one of them passed away. And the general, the sergeant, or whatever it was, went up to them. He let them have their moment, right? But then he said, guys, you know, we had our moment. Now we're going to get back to work. And I remember he said to them, because you all know what you signed up for. And I want to talk about something. All of us, we signed up for this acting thing. No one's forcing us to do it. And a big part of that is putting our ass on the line and putting our work out there. It's no good if you're brilliant in your living room. It's a waste of your time. Everyone's brilliant in their living room. So you got to get all your work, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a 30-second clip or a 2-minute clip or whatever it is. Get used to sending it out there and get used to hearing what we call constructive criticism, right? Because it's one thing for people to say, I don't like this, but they better know why. Do you know what I'm saying? Constructive criticism is part of our work. On a very, very good film set, you're going to get used to people saying, hey, this doesn't work, but can we try that or can we try this? And you got to get used to exposing yourself. Don't take it personally. It's not about you, all right? It's about this process, which is us putting our ass on the line, getting feedback, and most of us crumble, you know what I'm saying? Because it's nerve-wracking. You go out for an audition, you know, you watch, you know, do a theater and there's 200 people in the audience, hopefully, all right? And we just clam up. Get used to that. Get out there, get out there, get out there, get out there. Doesn't matter what level of acting you're on. Another thing, I'm going to talk a bit at the beginning. Another thing I want to talk to you guys is acting books. People always email me saying, what acting book, what acting book? Look, acting books are wonderful, all right? But they're as useful as me reading about ballet. I could read every ballet book in the world. If I don't do the work, the acting book is pointless. It's great intellectual information up here. And many of us have talked about this. Most people are listening to me right now. They're looking for quick tips. You know what I'm saying? And those are pointless, right? Someone used to say it's as far as you can spit. So be aware of these kind of habits that we get as actors. We did an exercise last week. There's a very, very good chance that most of you didn't repeat it. I know a couple of people did. See, you learn these skills that we share here by repetition. And by repetition, we mean again and again and again and again and again and again and again till you master it. It's no good to do this stuff once, get excited about it, get inspired about it. People email me links. Oh my God, that was so inspiring. Yeah, great. You know, we're not here to inspire you. We're here to make you work. But then can you repeat it? Can you do it again? Can you master it so well that it's in your body and then it's actually a skill that you're going to use on the film set? Otherwise, it's an idea, and ideas are pointless to us as actors, all right? So repeat everything you've learned, all right? We've been here for, I don't know how many weeks now. Repeat, take things in, make this your habit. I can't stress that enough, okay? Today, we're going to talk about script breakdown, okay? Breaking down the script. Then what we'll do is we'll do some relaxation exercises on this lovely chair. And then we're going to do an exercise. I call it secrets. You'll all understand what that's about. And then we're going to do, I'm going to look at a couple of people's show reels, whatever, monologues and all that kind of stuff, all right? So I'm going to read something to you guys. And by the way, really quickly before I start reading this, about books, look, you got to go to the great ones first. Find any book written by Stella Adler. She's brilliant, all right? Find any book by Lee Strasberg. There's one called The Fervent Years. Yeah, it's interesting, but it's about his journey, how it got here. And find any book by Meisner. Those are the three big American instructors anyway of their time. Anyone that comes below them is a combination of these people, right? They really are. So if you start with those three, then you can read any other book after that, okay? But once again, to read a book and put it on a shelf is pointless. To read a book and actually do these things consistently makes you an actor. And we're looking for actors here, people that do this as a life, not a habit or hobby. Great, interested, but not so much, right? Life. Anyway, I'm going to read you something, and it comes from Stella. I'm going to relax here. I'm going to put my foot up on the chair. And we're going to talk about script breakdown or script analysis. One thing to be clear, I always tell people script analysis or breaking down the script, it's part of acting. And a lot of times, well, fuck, I just hit my mic. A lot of times as students or as teachers or as acting school, what we do, and they separate it and do it as a separate course. Because a lot of people go, I need to learn script breakdown. And you go, and I go, yeah, it's part of acting. Everything you do is part of acting. It falls under one umbrella. You don't have to go do a script break course separately, right? And it's very, very, it's one of these things, simple to understand, but it takes a lifetime to master, okay? Now, this comes from an amazing teacher, once again, Stella Adler. And why I say that, if she talks, pay attention, right? And here's what she said. I just filmed a podcast on this, by the way, getting to the whole hip new universe of podcast, but I want you to hear it. Someone out there is going out. Here it is. The words of a script are communicating specific things, and you must be openly receptive to the impulses that the words should arouse. Meaning I'll shut up. I'll read it first and we'll go over it. The action exists in the circumstances, and when you place yourself in the circumstances, you should permit your imagination to take flight in order to arrive at the most interesting actions. The actor should stay away from the words of the script till they feel ownership of the actions. Once again, let's go over it. That's Stella Adler, right? The words of the script are communicating specific things. You must be openly receptive to the impulses and the words that should arouse, meaning all of us can read a script. And as you've heard me say many times before, everyone gets the exact same script. They don't give you a different one from someone else. So when you read these scripts and you get ideas, don't dismiss them. There's a certain connection and they feed you, right? Don't think emotions, think ideas. Think, oh, this, that happens. There's certain chemistry there. That's who you are as a human being. Because if I got 10 scripts and gave them to 10 different people, every single person would have a different connection to it. And that's what makes your work unique. That's why I tell people it matters. Your interpretation of the script matters. So don't just piss it away, right? The actions exist in the circumstances, and when you place yourself correctly in the circumstances, you should permit your imagination to take flight in order to arrive at the most interesting actions. Stella used to say the script is the blueprint. And she also used to say you are the bone, or the bone is the script, and the actor is the muscle. See, the bone dictates how big the muscle is. The muscle can't be this big, can't be this big. So the script dictates your choices. You can't just make choices based on what you think as an individual. They are based by the circumstances of the script and the circumstances of the character. You have to be aware of that. Otherwise, you become what we call a peacock. You're doing it for your own show. It's not about that. So the circumstances of the script are based on, of the situation are based on the script. That's the information given to you, right? The actor should stay away from the words of the script till they feel ownership of the actions. For the most part, and I don't want to be careful how I phrase that. At the same time, what I mean by this is for the most part, we don't work like that here in Australia. as a film industry. For the most part, we work off the lines. And I've had many colorful arguments with people. They go, well, the lines matter. Yeah, the lines matter, but they are a blueprint, meaning great directors and great actors, and I don't want to brag, I've been on amazing sets, they discuss the action and the circumstance given in the script. They don't discuss the line. They don't say, I want you to say that line like this, and I want you to say this line like that. Last week, I gave a speech about Taxi Driver. Even, you're talking to me. That wasn't even in the script. So if you're the kind of director or the kind of filmmaker that only does what's on paper, then you're not going to find these golden moments. And we do all the information that's on paper. And we try to get it as close to the script as we can, but not at the expense of the moment. You need to understand that. Now, the very, very basic script breakdown, this is very easy to understand. And I just tell people, think of three things. Where are you coming from? Why are you here? And where are you headed? Beginning, middle, and end, bottom line. Where are you coming from? Why are you here? And where are you headed? Because that matters. And when they say, and you got to hear a lot of acting teachers talk about this, and it came from Stella, and God knows who she got it from, they say the talent is in the choices, meaning, do you make choices interesting enough? And I don't want you to think interesting enough to be different. I want you to think, is the choice supported by the information in the script? You can't make choices that aren't supported by the script. They stick out like a sore thumb, right? We're going to talk about one scene, and I picked the scene because a lot of people know it. It's Closer, from the film Closer, okay? I will read as best I can so we all understand the scene. It's the scene between Larry and Anna. And what happened is that Anna, his wife, or whatever it is, they're together. She's had an affair. He comes home from a trip. I think he's gone to New York. And he suspects that she's cheating on him. And they have a confrontation. I'll read the script really quickly so we know, once again, the information that we're given, right? This is Larry. That's Anna. So I'll just point. Larry says, and it says here, Larry enters having had his shower. He just came out of the shower. He's wearing a dressing gown. He hands Anna a shoebox. It says, the Sultan has returned, right? And then she opens the box and she says, they're beautiful. And then he says, guess what, Alice? That's her, I think she's a photographer or something. Alice was at the Paramount Hotel. She says, what? That's her. Yeah, they sell, let me read this. They sell Artie postcards at the lobby. I bought one to boost your sales, right? Then he gives it to a young woman in London, okay? He hands the postcard. She looks at the postcard. And I checked for your book at the Museum of Modern Art. Someone bloody bought one. The student with a ridiculous little beard, he was drooling over your photo, fancied you, right? I was proud of you. You've broken New York. And she says, you're wonderful. He says, don't ever forget that. That's a key line. I'll tell you why, all right? He says, don't forget it. Then she says, change your mind, all right? And he goes, please change your mind. Can I still see you, right? That goes there. Let me jump ahead, okay? Then, hold on, because it bounces around, all right? Dan Larry, Dan Larry, Dan Larry, Dan Larry, Dan Larry. Okay, then she says to him, why are you dressed? He says, because I think you might be about to leave me, and I didn't want to be wearing a dressing gown, all right? I slept with someone in New York, a whore. I'm sorry. Please don't leave me. Anna says, why? He says, for sex. I wanted sex. She says, was it good? He said, yes. She goes, Paramount Hall. He goes, no. 40-something street. Where did you go? Her place. Nice. I got a couple more pages, then we'll start this work. Not as nice as ours. I'm really sorry. Why did you tell me? I couldn't lie to you. Why not? Because I love you. It's fine. Really, why? Guilty present. Love present. Something's wrong? Are you leaving me? He says, right? Why? Dan. And then he says, Cupid, he's our joke. I love him. You're seeing him now? Yes. Since when? Since my opening last year. I'm disgusting. He says, you're phenomenal. You're no clever. You're so clever. Why did you marry me? I stopped seeing him. I wanted us to work. Why did you tell me you want children? Because I did. And now you want children with him? Yes. I don't know. I'm sorry. Why? I need him. But you're happy. We're happy, aren't we? Yes. Are you going to live with him? Yes. You stay here if you want. I don't give a fuck about the spoils. You did this on the day we met. Let me hang myself for your amusement. Why didn't you tell me the second I walked in the door? I was scared because you're a coward, right? You spoiled bitch, okay? And then, are you dressed because I thought I might hit you? What do you think I am? He says that. She goes, I've been hit before. He says, not by me. Don't do this. Just answer the question. Was he good? Yes. Better than me? Different. Better. Gentler. What do you mean? You know what I mean? Tell me. No. I treat you like a horse sometimes. Why would that be? I'm sorry, don't say it. Don't fucking say it. You're no good for me. But don't say it. And then she says, yes, you're kind, you're good. And they go on and have a discussion about where she had an affair with this guy and all that kind of stuff. Now, I want you to understand something. And Stella used to say this. She used to say, the character doesn't know the lines, the actor does. Meaning, a lot of us are playing the lines. If I stood at the street, and this is the example I give, and asked people, where will you be in 10 or 20 minutes? They know what they'll be doing. They'll either be home, I'll be, a couple of hours from now, I'll be driving home, but I don't have a clue what I'll be saying. I don't have a clue what I'll be saying 10 minutes from now, right? But the point is, every actor knows the lines, and that's what they focus on. Better actors, and we'll call them better actors, focus on the action. And the action, for the most part, also feeds the lines. But what happens is, if you only focus on the lines, it's what we call neck up. Most people's showreel, most people's work looks like this. They've hit their mark, they're standing there, and they're saying their lines. There's nothing going on internally or action-wise, and you don't have to move every time. The point is, your intention was to come here and do something. And in that process, you either finish what you were doing or you don't. But the lines are fed by all this. I'll give you an example now. And this is what we talk about collaboration. Creative collaboration means you open your mouth and voice your ideas. Don't sit there quietly going, Don't be scared to voice your ideas as long as they are what we call educated ideas. Meaning you're an actor, you have skill, you're able to deliver these ideas. It's no good to talk and not deliver, right? Then you're wasting everyone's time. So you got to have the acting capacity, meaning the body, which we'll work on later on, relaxation, all that shit, right? So now let's discuss this. He went to New York, okay? She suspects that he knows because she's getting ready to leave. She's got her suitcase ready. So then the big question is this. Why did he bother coming home to tell her? Why didn't he just call her from New York and say, hey, you're having an affair? Screw you, hang up. Why didn't she leave? Perfect opportunity to leave. If she's having an affair and she's convinced this, this other guy, they're going to take off, why not leave the day that this guy leaves? So her husband leaves, goes to New York. Why not pack your bags the very next day? Your choices have to be aligned to do the scene, meaning she's got to find a good reason to stay home. The good reason could be that she believes he's a nice guy, which is in the script. So you don't want to be a complete asshole. You go, you know what? I'm a nice person. I'll wait till he gets home and say, darling, I love you. We're not working out. I'm leaving. Her intention isn't necessarily to tell him I'm sleeping with someone. Because we could also argue she'll say that the moment he comes in. But that's not the case. He came home from the airport, right? She didn't pick him up. He probably caught a cab. He came home. He took a shower. So what could have happened before they opened their mouth and start talking? If he came in and hugged her and said, darling, how are you? And picked her up. Because he genuinely loves her. That's in the script. He says again and again and again, I love you. Now, here's the question. This is what I want you to think. And remember, most actors, we're talking about the top 2% here, think like this. Most of us only do what's on the page. How much do you love this woman? He bought her a card, that's in the script, and he tried to buy her a book. Would he buy her a flower? People go, that's generic. Well, could he buy her a flower? And if not a flower, what else could he buy her? I don't know. But it matters to the character because he's the kind of guy that bothered to buy her a card. So we could argue because he feels like their relationship is on the rocks, he might buy something else also. If he didn't give a shit, I ain't buying your card. I saw the card, I didn't buy it. But he could buy it. I don't want you to walk in with 50 things. It's a matter of finding the right one for that woman. Right? Remember the Meisner exercise. That's what it comes down to. This is the repetition bullshit, which is taught so badly. All right? That's what it means. I'm saying the words for that specific actress. Because if I was cast with a different actress, I would literally pick a different gift for her. She might like flowers. She might like some food from New York, right? She might like something else. So it forces you then to think in real terms. If you were dating this woman, what would you buy for this woman? And you're going to go, shit, I should buy it because the character would. The character has no clue how the lines are going to go, but he feels so lonely that he went to New York and slept with a hooker. Now, he's not the kind of guy, once again, remember we talked about character work and choices. He's not the kind of guy that goes to New York and plows through a bunch of hookers. That's a different character. He did it once out of necessity. He was so lonely because she's screwing around with her best friend, and he senses that. And he just needed human contact and then felt like shit that he wanted to tell her that. So your choices as an actor are guided by the script, but are also needed because we're not just doing the lines. What could have this guy bought for her? Maybe something they shared in New York, maybe a perfume bottle. And Stella used to be such an amazing teacher. She used to say, don't let your character off the hook, meaning you know she's going to leave you because I've read the script, but make it difficult for you. Be an extra nice guy. Make it so difficult that we see her struggling with the choice of, shit, I'm leaving this amazing guy. What an angel. That I feel so guilty for leaving that the lines would come out with so many different colors. Because otherwise you're just playing one color. I'm angry at you, fuck off, and I'm angry at you for sleeping with him. Because we haven't seen that enough in every freaking audition or every show reel. That when people do this, that's what you see, by the way, right? That's all you see. There's so much behind it. How difficult is it to say the words, I cheated on someone, when this person is being so loving? And by miracle, today, right now, they're playing their cards right. They're perfect right now. You almost don't need the lines. Let's talk about her. He's gone. The husband's gone. I forgot for how long. I think it's like a week or whatever. And even that, by the way, Stella used to say, we'd go to the airport and see people arriving from New York to LA and would say, how long have they seen? Now, if you see each other, I had a friend of mine used to fly all the time. I'd see him once every couple of weeks. It wasn't a big deal. I'd see at the airport, go, hey man, would you park here? You know what I'm saying? Right? But if you haven't seen each other, you know, like you see some of these families and they haven't seen each other for decades, oh my God, hugs and kisses. It's not that kind of reception here, right? So they're probably going through. Now, let's talk about, like I said earlier, script breakdown or script, whatever you want to call it, right? Analyzing the script. That's another catchphrase. It's great to sell classes, right? He's coming from the airport. There's a ritual that most people do when they come from the airport. They have luggage. They have a ticket. They might have read a book on the flight. They might have had one of these things. Correct? So then I say the choice is yours. What kind of character is he? He probably would wear the pillow. Others wouldn't. I don't give a shit about the pillow, right? He might. That's why we say acting is in the choices. So let's assume we give him a pillow. Let's assume you give him a ticket. See, and a lot of people go, Peter, that's not important. It is, because all these little things add gravy. They add seasoning to your food. And none of them stand out like a sore thumb. You're not going to come in and say, here's my ticket. Where's the camera? You don't do that. I don't care if you put it in your back pocket, because it feeds you. I believe I went to the ticket. I would put the ticket here and probably lose it. Once again, this is what we talk about character work. Would he put it in a proper, wallet? They got these travel wallets, because that's him, and he could hold it like this, right? I wouldn't. I'd find it. I'd be doing this. It's your work. You got to be responsible for it. And if your character does it in a little travel bag, then that's how he travels. If your character does it like this, that's the rest of your character, right? You decide. That's why they're giving you the money. So you decide what the character is. Please understand this. Very important. A lot of people think it's a director's job. With all due respect, they handle the camera, we handle this. And I know a lot of directors argue with me. They actually do. But I can name drop all day. I've seen amazing directors. Marty Scorsese works like this. Michael Mann works like this. Brilliant. What's his name? It'll come to me. Mark Rydell, Barry Primus, all of them. They let the actor do their work, and they go, I like that. And a great director, Kazan, also said, never tell actors where to go, just put the furniture in the right place. Where lots of directors, sit down on the third line. I don't have a clue when I'll sit down, right? I'll sit down if I need to, do something. And if I end up standing up, great, we stand up. You need to give actors room to do their work. And I'm telling you, as an actor, you need to fight for that. But you need to fight for it responsibly. It's not a pissing competition. Does it make sense for the script for him to have his passport in a travel bag? Yes, it does. He's a dermatologist. We could make him neat and organized. He's nice. Let's call it nice, boring, right? So that's his thing. Does he have a ticket? Does he have luggage? Does he have this? Where are they in the scene? Put them down. You're tired. You just flew in from New York. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? I know a lot of people, when they fly back and forth from LA to New York, they get home because of the time difference, they're hungry. They've eaten shit. They've been at the airport for fucking 3 hours. Then the flight was 5 hours. And then by the time you get home, it's another 2 hours. You haven't had a decent meal for 7 hours. If we could argue, if she's very loving, she could make you something to eat. What an amazing choice for an actress. If I was playing her, I'd make him a nice meal. I'd say, you know what? Just because I feel guilty and I've been screwing around, I'd surprise him today. I'd make him something nice. Do it. Do it. Right? These are amazing acting choices. So he comes home and he goes, oh, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a fucking sandwich, that's what you make. You know what I'm saying? Acting choices that aren't in the script. Let's talk about her really quickly. When's the last time she slept with a boyfriend? The lover. Half an hour ago? An hour ago? It's an affair. It's hot stuff. You know what I'm saying? Without being disrespectful, the fucking is different. It's more passionate. Otherwise, why have an affair? If the affair is worse than home, sorry, if the affair is worse than home, then it's a shitty affair. So you've got to make the choice that this is more passionate stuff. Maybe she slept with the lover an hour before the guy came home because she knows the flight hasn't landed yet. And even if it did, she's got at least an hour. So maybe she slept with him 2 hours ago. What happens to the body when you just finish making love? without show and tell. Without show and tell, right? Let's talk about the house. Whose house is it? Remember what Kazan said. Don't tell actors where to go. Put furniture in the right place. And I'll give you a very basic example. And many of you heard me say this, but you get the topic. You get the idea. If this is his house and she's having an affair, it's very easy. I'm home, fuck off. My home. You're cheating on me. If this is her house, the argument has different weight. All of a sudden, her house, I'm here to pick up my bags, ciao. A more interesting choice, because that's too heavy-handed on either side, this is their house. They're married. They talked about having kids. They bought this chair together. They bought this table together. There's memories here. So you're not just saying goodbye to a person now. You're saying goodbye to a place. It's no longer just a prop. This isn't a fucking prop anymore. It's our chair. And why that matters, there's a whole scene later on where he asks her, where did you fuck the guy? Did you fuck him on the chair? Because if this was our chair and we sat here on the chair and we read a book together once and maybe we made love or didn't, then this is what we call heightened. Stella used to say, this is heightened. This is not a prop. This is not a prop. They bought this lovely red couch together. So if they slept there, it's different. If they slept together in the bedroom, I mean, that's the pinnacle of the marriage, then it's over. So what you need to do as an actor, see, it's pointless to break down the script on paper. When you do that shit, get on a film set, say, where are we filming here? Trust me, they got plenty of time. And good directors will let you do this while they're setting up the lights and all that shit. You don't need to be on in your trailer on Facebook going, look, I'm on this show. That's great if you're a fucking kid, all right? You need to be here making this private and personal. Making this private and personal. And the reason why we do all these lovely exercises, what we call coffee cup and all that bananaville, is to learn the skill to make this personal. Because I can have an actor say, make this personal, and they can stare at it all day long. It doesn't make it personal. The way you make it personal is you touch, you create. I could create her body, and imagine we sat here. I could smell her. I could remember where she put her hand and touch. Oh my God, she used to touch the chair right here. That makes it personal. That's why we do all these stupid exercises like coffee cup and makeup and all that shit. So you're creating something out of nothing. Now that I'm here, I can sit here. And I hope I don't lose my mic in this because I'm no good with shit like that. I can sit here now and remember, I can even make this pillow her. I hope you can see the pillow. There's a pillow here. Remember Castaway, the film? I'm assuming you all have seen it. Remember Wilson? We all fucking cried over a stupid ball because we had made it real. I can make this pillow my lover, meaning I touch it, I think of my wife, and I embrace it. And a lot of you might think it's corny. Remember what I said for? You signed up for this shit. Our work is to get personal and private in front of people. What you don't do is expose your information. You don't go out there going, this is my wife. I'm making this pillow on my wife. Because now everyone's in your fucking head and you don't want that shit. What you want is to be left alone. Say, don't talk to me. And just imagine I could make this whoever I want. So when I sit here, and believe it or not, you don't ask permission for this shit, don't do it. I could bring in perfume. My wife has a certain perfume and spray it on that without telling anyone. So when I sit here automatically, the smell alone would feed me. Remember I said earlier, it's what we call emotional pornography. It feeds you. It's not enough to just think about these things. You could bring in a photograph of you and your darling right here without telling anyone. And it doesn't have to be literal. Because later on in the scene, when I say, hey, did you sleep with him on that couch? It's already fermented. Already by standing here, I feel it. This is heightened. I've made this personal to some degree. This is nothing. This is just a prop. And that's an acting skill. That's why I tell people, forget just happens. Nothing just happens. We do a lot of preparing for moments that just happen, but a lot of preparing is this, that. And by the way, very good directors, and to all the directors listening out there, they shoot that shit. I know a lot of good directors, they say, can we just shoot that? And they tell the actor, listen, we're just going to try something for the camera, just something for the lighting. It's not even a real take, but they do it. And I'm sitting here, I could have discussions. So now I'm fermenting this. We'll talk about this chair very soon. That's the work you do before you shoot the scene, right? The other thing you need to do, because we know now that later on they talk about where did you sleep with him. Let's assume that they slept on this chair. They had sex on this chair right here. I can think of things all day long. Thinking is up here. And I want you all to learn one thing. With acting, your acting choices are more potent, let's use that word, if they're in the moment. If I sit here and I think of, yes, 10 years ago, my wife could have slept with this person, great. It's not as potent as me going, oh my God, it's happening right now in front of me. That, I don't want to use the word hurts, but that feeds you more because now it's stronger. And believe it or not, it's not enough to think about these. You've got to go, imagine you just got to create them. There's that person's hair or there's her hair, all that shit. You've got to create these things to make it stronger. And the other thing, this is, once again, the script analysis part of the script. It says, she says, I slept with Cupid. Cupid is the actor in the script, whoever they pick. Who's Cupid for you personally? Meaning, of all the people in your life, who would she sleep with that hurts the most? That's always the best choice. That person there. And you need to know why. Why would she sleep with him? What's he got better than you? And yeah, you can be a shithead about it, go, oh, you're bigger dick. It's not about a fucking bigger dick. Is he better as a business person? Does he take care of her better? Does he take care of her? Did he take her to a restaurant that you always promised her? That's an interesting choice. Because if you always promised her the restaurant, and she just came from there and go, you know what, darling, tomorrow I'll take you out to that restaurant. But he already took her there. That would feed someone. So you now need to pick the right person. That's why Stella and De Niro said this, by the way, probably took it from her. They say talent is in the choices. The better choices you make, the more it will feed your scenes. Some of them are physical, bringing in the sleeping thing, bringing in the ticket. And some of them, I don't want to use emotional, but they trigger things. Who she slept with here and what they did, better than you. And you've got to touch it and create it. You need to go over here and touch a loving moment. Let's assume, and I want you to understand, this is why our work isn't, it's so hard to what I'm saying, it's not written in stone. We're just trying things. Remember, learn to master the process, not the result. You can quote me on that, by the way. If I create them sleeping with each other here, and I create a beautiful moment with my wife over here, now it's bittersweet. Because when I sit here and say the lines, I realize I'll never have this now. I'm alone here. It already feeds that sense of loneliness. I could sit here and say the lines, and I'm already going, she's over there now. I've already lost her. And it already starts to trigger things. Remember what Stella says. When it starts to feed your imagination, go for it. But it's not enough just to imagine it. You have to have the skill to create it. The skill to create it. That's a skill. That's why people say, oh, they're very talented. Yeah, talent, bullshit. Work. Talent will get you so far. Work will sustain a career. Right? That's a skill. That's a skill. And you can learn this stuff. It's a skill to learn this. So let's talk about her, which I haven't yet, right? Why did she wait? What's in that suitcase of hers? What you put in the suitcase matters. Most actors don't even know what's in that suitcase. If I said to an actor, and I've seen this scene many times, if I said to an actor, hey, what's in your suitcase? Oh, nothing, because he doesn't open it in the scene. The character knows what's in that suitcase. You bet your ass you know what's in the suitcase. You packed it. So if you were leaving your house today, what would you pack in a suitcase that's small enough to hide from your husband to leave with? And even her, she's saying goodbye not just to a person, but to a place. She's looking around going, oh my God, and he's a nice guy. That's what makes it difficult. Who is she letting down from her own life? And what you do in life, you literally, there's the actor, there's the person, and you marry the two together. I have actors going, I'm substituting. That's what we call by substituting, but most of you substitute up here. You got to substitute. You can dance. Dancing is good. I've seen amazing directors. While we're doing the lights, you tell two actors to dance. They're a couple. They hold each other differently. They're more comfortable being near each other. Otherwise, you see these things and there's no chemistry, and all of a sudden they start kissing, and it feels like just fucking cold fish. You need to let the actors get this going. While you're setting up this scene for closer, I would have the actors zip it, play a nice song over and over again, and just dance, and tell the crew to ignore them. Because now they become private. Private, private, private. And as, once again, let's go back to Stella. Stella used to say, there are secrets. What's in your pocket? I want you to understand this. If I'm playing her, and I have an empty pocket, as I do, how much is an empty pocket going to feed me? Zero. Zero. What if I had a used condom? People go, that's silly. But see, if you're having an affair, I got news for you. There's a very good chance you would have a used condom. I was in class one day with Stella, and she said to the actor, there was a woman playing the, I love her, it was a different scene, it was some Chekhov piece. And she said it, and she wasn't being crude. Please remember, we're fucking grown-ups here. This is our work, all right? She wasn't being crude, but I'll tell you why it's a great choice. She said, when he's talking to you, imagine the cum of your lover dripping down your leg. Now, why that choice? Why that choice? It's a brilliant choice, because there's choices that are what we call very general. They could service many different kinds of scenes. This is so specific. This is a lover dripping down your leg while he's talking to you. This only fits this scenario. And we say, try it without talking about it. Why else do you think they're going to give you $20 million fucking dollars to learn lines? You don't turn up on a set unprepared. You go, oh my God, or a love letter. The most beautiful love letter ever written to you. But they don't know what's in your pocket, but it feeds you. Because now when this person touches you, all of a sudden you're going to go, oh my God. See, I'm not thinking result. Am I? The result will be there by definition. I'm thinking, shit, I'm trying to hide something from them. Boil the water, put the lid on it. Now I'm genuinely trying to hide this. Or a smell. If you're playing a woman, put aftershave on it. You don't want him to come near you. And it would feed that line which says, don't come near me. Why? You think I'm going to hit you? You're thinking, no, motherfucker, because you're going to smell your aftershave. But it'll feed it. And it's unfortunate that most directors, or a lot of directors, I'm not saying there's no good ones, there's some great ones out there, but a lot of them don't know how to work with actors, so they give us a result, act more nervous. I don't walk into a room going, I'm going to go home with my wife tonight and I'll act nervous. Nah, that's a result. Directors and actors should stop talking result. They should say, hey, There's a letter in your pocket. The nervousness will come out. It will come out. What you put in your pocket is your choice. I don't care if it's a pill, a letter, a gun, a knife. I don't give a shit. No one does, by the way. The point is, it's no one's business. Will it feed your choice for the scene? Yes, it will. And guess what? It will feed it more than you thinking about it. That's the point. Once again, we're being very, very private in a public place. I have to check the time so we don't go on all night. In 15 minutes, I'll try and wrap this up. All right? But you see already, before I even open my mouth, I've already established this. I've already established this. We'll call this a nice memory. I've already established this as them sleeping with each other. She's already established what's in the pocket. She's already established what's in her bag. She's already slept where the lover touched her. It's all sensory work. Where did he kiss you? Here, here, here. This is what we talk about. Acting doesn't live up here. It's in the body, because your lover would have kissed you there. And you don't want him to know. So now you're sitting there with all these body choices and stuff. I don't even need the lines. The lines will be fed. Guess how? When I see that and I remember the line, did you sleep with him on the couch? I just have to look there and the line will come to me. This will remind me of the line. That will remind me of the other line. The bag will remind me of she's leaving. Otherwise, you memorize the lines off the script. And if the line is on page 9 at the top, your image is the line on top of page 9. And that's all you've memorized. It's what we call neck up shit, which is a lot of films are like that. See, everyone thinks anyone can do this. When now the lines will come out, but the line will be fed by me looking at that. The line will be fed by this. The line will be fed by me looking at her going, God, I love her. She's beautiful. As I look at her and take her in. Take her in. As I've said in the past, you blend things. You don't have to bring sand to the beach. If you look at your scene partner and you're attracted to them, don't be a fucking pervert about it. It's not about that. Draw on things that you find attractive to her and think of your lover. You marry the two people together. That's substitution. But you can't not take her in, because then there's no chemistry here. And same as her, she has to look at you and go, he's a nice person for this reason. Now, if you're working next to a fucking gremlin and you can't stand them, you've got more work to do. But it's not impossible. There's more work to do now. But you need to make it work, because in the script, she does say, you're a great guy. And it's more difficult now to say, I cheated, I did this, I did this. And it's very difficult to say I cheated when you come to this chair now, because now that hurts. And guess what? If they change the chair around, or if they change the camera angle around, all I need is a few more minutes to literally cut and paste what I've created over here and plant it anywhere else I like. I can do it here. Sensory work. That's why we do sensory work. You got me? So you cut and paste. And also, I've seen many times on amazing film sets where you see actors, and while they're doing all the shit, they're memorizing their lines. Do it here. This is where they talk about, did you do this? This is where they talk about this. This is where they talk about this. So you're learning your lines in the moment, in the place. The worst thing to do is to run lines. And people then are just running lines. Blah, 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 blah. Neck up, neck up, neck up. Stop running lines. Take time to create things. This is why Stella Adler said, and I'll try and finish this in a few minutes, right? There we go. Let's read this again now. The words of the script are communicating specific things, and you must be openly be receptive to the impulses that the word should arouse. The actions exist in the circumstances. Here are the circumstances. You just came home from your flight. She just finished making, love, and she's about to leave. Those are the actions. And you should permit your imagination to take flight in order to arrive at the most interesting actions. The actor should stay away from the words of the script till they feel ownership of the actions. This takes time to create. You can learn lines in a minute. As I've said in the past, I can grab any banana from the streets out there and say, memorize lines, please, do them. That's not acting. That's memorizing lines. This takes time, and it takes your heart and soul. My heart and soul lives here now. My heart and soul lives over there. I'm connected to it. And that's acting, folks. Like I said in the very beginning of this discussion, you signed up for this shit. You used to get up on stage for Stella, and if she didn't feel like you left your heart and soul, she'd get off. That's our job, to bring all this stuff here. You know what I'm saying? I always give the example of Eric Clapton when his son died, and he wrote that song, Tears in Heaven. He put his stuff into his art. This is an opportunity to put your stuff into your art without thinking artsy fartsy. And it doesn't have to be literal. I want you to understand that. Let's assume you've never had anyone cheat on you. Then there's the idea of what if, what if, what if. What if works? What if she did? That's all you need sometimes. And sometimes if that doesn't work, there's so many other layers to it. You can put what if she just made fun of you to someone else. I don't know. That's your job to explore these ideas and connections. You got me? So then what happens is they keep going. They have all these moments, and we don't want to see the lines neck up. Because here's what I'm talking about. I'll give you one more example, then we'll move on. He could sit here where he says to her, did you sleep with him? Did you fuck him here? And just grab this pillow as he's talking to her and have a fucking meltdown over here. I mean, he could. And there's no reason why you shouldn't do it. Because your character is in so much pain, he almost wants to hide from it. That's a fucking choice. It's better than doing this shit. I got my mark. You got your mark. Let's do over the shoulder shot, the Bananaville. Nothing going on, neck up. So I want you all to take your script. This is a very basic example, and it's hard to teach a script breakdown in 20 minutes. I want you all to take all your scenes and find out what's the action. Now, keep in mind that if your character didn't know that she's having an affair, then it's different. I'm coming home from work. I just flew in from New York, blah, 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 blah. I might eat something. I might do something. You know what I'm saying? What's the action? I'll give you a quick example very quickly. And by the way, I just filmed a podcast the other night. And I talk more in depth about this. There's Zoo Story, very, very quickly. I'll spend 3 minutes on this, right? The Zoo Story by Edward Albee. There's a guy sitting on a bench. It takes place in a park, Central Park. His name is Peter. And there's a guy walking past called Jerry. 99% of actors do this. Jerry's sitting there smoking a pipe because that's what's in the script. Jerry comes out of nowhere and says, hey, man, I've been to the zoo. 99% of actors do that. This character, and I want you to understand this. This is why we say brilliant acting. This character does not know that he's going to turn up. He came here to sit here and do his thing. So here's where great acting comes into it. How long has your character sat here for? If I just sat down and someone comes up to me and says, hey, man, get off the chair, I'd get up. I'd go, you know what, fuck it, I haven't settled. But if I've been here for half an hour and I got my coffee here, there's my coffee, right? And I got my book and I've laid my pipe out and I've got one of these little pipe things. Most people just bring a freaking pipe. Does your person have the whole thing that comes with the pipe, the little casing, and I've laid things out? It's more difficult now for me to get up and move, isn't it? I've settled here. And Stella used to say, I want to see how long you've sat in that chair for. That's different. What kind of character? Would he put his wallet on the ground or not? Different. And why pick this chair to face this way? What do you see as Peter? Do you see your house? Do you see your family? Go, what a beautiful family I got, the 2 kids, the birds. I work in publicity, whatever the fuck it is. Wow. What's going on at home? positive or negative. Is your marriage on the rocks or is your marriage absolutely perfect? I could do 50 takes now. I want you to understand this. Well, I talked at the very beginning when we did our marriage story, they did 50 takes of one scene. And a lot of filmmakers here said, what a waste of time. No, fuck you. He made all these freaking awards and everyone's watching it. Meaning, I, as a director, could tell the actor, you know what? While you're sitting here, your marriage is on the rocks because now the lines, now there might be a different need to connect to Jerry. Or your marriage is perfect, but it's so perfect that you've been in your ass all your fucking life and you haven't paid attention to the other person. Now the connection is different without a result. Or 50-50, I can do 100 takes now. Where if you're just doing the line you'll get bored of doing it again and again. And then the poor actor doesn't know what else to do. So then they just get more drastic ideas, but it's all neck up, angrier, louder, faster, more energy. That's not directing, folks. That's some actor trying to reach some result. And even if you do, you're showing me one color. One. With this, so many things could come out. And it's not just Jerry sitting there for the other actor to turn up. It's Jerry contemplating his life, contemplating his family. Brilliant. And as it says really quickly, does he have, because he asked him about the kids. You know, almost every actor that does this doesn't have a photo of the kids. Well, it's not in the script, is it? I don't show my photo. He works in advertising or he would have a photo, even if it was the 50s. Back then, he would have a photo because that's his job. He's in that publicity world. So he could have a photo. So when Jerry says to him, do you got kids? He goes, yep, I got 2 daughters. And by the time he goes to pull out the wallet, Jerry says, I'm not interested. But see, now the audience actually believes that you've got 2 kids because you're looking for their photograph, as opposed to sitting here going, and I've seen this 10,000 times. Do you have kids? Yes, I do. 2 daughters. Well, there's my line. I'm done. I'll just wait around out till you tell me. But I could bring it out and go, yeah, there they are. Jesus fucking Christ, how they've grown. That's action, correct? Remember we said memorize the action. I want to see my kids. And Jerry will keep talking, and then you'll put the script away. And most people go, but my ass. That's a human thing to have photographs of your kids, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't just do what's on the script. We're not saying change the script. You can't change the direction of the script, but you can have a photograph here. You can have a little treat. He sits there, has a pipe, cake, I don't know. Go to the park, do your research. What did I say at the very beginning of this? Because I don't want to waste our time here. We've been here for 8-9 courses. I don't even know for how long. Most great actors go to the park, do their research. As I've said in the past, there's a thing, if you Google it, Sean Penn at the, I forgot what it's called. Great. I think it's called Sean Penn at the Castro. That's what it's called. It's Sean Penn when he's worked on the film Harvey Milk. And he's actually researching the character. What did I say at the beginning of this course? Most of us sit in our living room, memorize lines. Get to a park and look at who sat there for more than half an hour and go, that's an interesting choice. I'm going to steal that. That makes sense for Jerry. And then try it. One thing quickly before we go on. How far has Jerry walked? You know what most actors do? This. They get off the set. They prepare. They run the lines and they go, I've been to the zoo. Yeah, okay. That's someone who's taken 5 steps. 5, literally. How far is the zoo from Central Park? How far has he walked? What happens to the body when you walk? Things fall apart. Clothing happens. Did you go to the zoo? Go outside the zoo, apart from their phones, because they didn't have phones in the 50s. Did you have a map? Even if you never see it, I believe I went to the zoo because I got the zoo map. But what an interesting choice. I want you to understand this now. What if your character went to the zoo and it's a hot day and he does this? Or he ties it up. You've seen homeless people. What a fucking interesting choice. People go, that's too much. Try it. Because it's my version of Jerry. And my version of Jerry does this, or my version of Jerry, even better, and we've all seen this one, does this. because Jerry doesn't have money to fix up his shoes. There we go. It's been years since I've done this. Jerry doesn't have money to fix up his shoes, so he's got a little bit of a blister. Now, see, this is show and tell, because you wouldn't walk down the streets like this. What you would do is this. You definitely cut the paper, but you would do this. That's acting, not show and tell, because you don't want to show and tell this. Please understand what I'm telling you. I want you all to understand this is not the director's job. That's your job as an actor. And what makes you a different actor is when you do this. We're trying to separate you from 90% of the actors that memorize lines, and that's all they do. This is Jerry walking for 6 blocks. Right there. Where is it? And you have to make it real. You have to make it real so it fits. See, mine already moved. Too loose. And you're not doing it for show and tell. You're not telling everyone, guess what I came up with? This great idea at this wonderful acting class, whatever the fuck it's called. No. I did it because it makes sense for Jerry, because in the script it says he's walked so far. And really quickly, I'll check the time. We're getting there. How many people has Jerry approached? He just went to the zoo to make contact with animals because he's so lonely. He's lonely. So if I come in like this, hey man, I've been to the zoo, I'd go, you know what, fuck off. I don't give a shit where you came from. But Jerry needs to make human contact. I've actually seen that on stage here in lovely Melbourne. I'm not saying where. But the actor went, I've been to the zoo. I'm like, get out of here. Try doing that in the park. Going up to saying, I've been to the zoo. Good luck to you. My need as an actor is to connect. So now I look at the right moment. It's like approaching someone at the bar. You don't go, hey, babe, what's up? You sit there and you go, hey, how are you? What's going on? You approach someone based on what that actor is doing. This is called being in the moment. Once again, there's the Meisner exercise, being in the moment. He says something, I say something. I can't predetermine how I'm going to say the line. I want you to understand that. That's how great actors work. I don't know how my line will come out till they say theirs. I don't know how I'll say my first line till I say what they're doing in the park. And if there's no one sitting there because they've got a camera, then you pick your choices. But it's got to make sense for the script. And how desperate are you to make human contact is your work. He's very desperate. He's going to die today. He knows this. Meaning, if there's 40 other people there, it's easy. Hey, man, no, fuck off, you. Hey, man, fuck off, next one. But this is the last person. So you really got to make it work. Because after this, there's nothing. And your job is to make that real and to make the end real. It's over. And when people are like that, it's different. And you don't show it. Because we could argue once again, why talk for 60 minutes? Why not just turn up and say, hey man, I'm really suicidal, I need help. That's the end of the script. That's different, but it's here. I mean, for Christ's sake, you know it's your last day here. Say goodbye to the sun. Take in the smell of the park. Look at that man that you could never be. He's got everything right. He's got a good mom. He's got a good dad. He went to the right college. Look how he dresses. How beautiful. I always wanted to be that, but I can't. Look at me. I'm a fucking schlep, man. Even if you talk to him from admiration, go, hey, just beautiful. I just wanted to be like you so much. That's one choice. Or the other choice is to hate him. Look at you, you fucking bastard. I don't get that shit. But I can't show him that. I can't go on like this. But I go, hey, God, you got it so easy, man. Do you understand the variables now? And it's hard, you know, I should start talking to people more live because, you know what I'm saying, guys? These are the amazing choices. That's why we say now life or acting is in the choices. And your work, look how much time it takes. We haven't even addressed the 60 minutes of the script. We're addressing beat one. That's why all this stuff takes time. But if you do this consistently, Because let's say you've done your relaxation, all that shit at home, sensory work. I have choices that I can make real very quickly now because I do this all the time. Like I told people, if you don't do this consistently at home, your choice is dead because it's out of shape. So I urge you to do all these stupid sensory exercises at home. Now, with roughly an hour to go, we're going to do relaxation now, which everyone hates, okay? We're going to do it for, I hate cutting it down. We're not going to do it 40 minutes. I think next week or the week after, we're going to do it for a full 40 minutes, right? In a nutshell, before I finish this, that's how I want you to learn your scripts. Think activity, what could my character be doing? Why am I sitting in this chair in this restaurant? It's not by chance. And most times your activity doesn't have to be anything much beyond just sitting down. Your character is sitting in the park, taking the park in, enjoying it. That's it. I'm not thinking about the other actor when they're coming in. If the actor never came in, my character will sit here for another half an hour, then pack his bags and go home. And that's acting. As opposed to, you were meant to come in on the third beat. No, he could come in never. I don't care. My character's sitting here privately. I have no clue when you'll come in. And a lot of this also, I promise I'll finish now, takes time. If you have to sit in the park for an hour and smoke a pipe and do whatever you do, then you find yourself, look at me, I plan things. There's water, there's coffee, there's a phone, there's a book about monologues, which I'm probably not going to use. There's a computer here, whatever. I've settled here. You got me? These are great little fine choices. Now, please, I want you all to do one thing. Watch good movies. And then repeat the scene and watch it again and watch great actors work. The activity goes on. The actor keeps eating. The actor keeps doing his pipe. The actor keeps looking at the trees. The actor keeps taking in the sun. As Jerry talks, where if you're only focused on the line, he's talking, I'm waiting, he's got 8 lines to go, 5 lines to go, I'm about to talk now. And you see actors getting ready to talk, and you go, bop. So they talk, and then the 0, 0, 0 talk, or they only act when it says in the script. He picks up his cup of coffee. Yeah, I pick it up when you need a fucking drink. You got me? That's how I want you all to think. What's the character doing, not saying? Night and day. Now, we're going to do relaxation. Only for 10 minutes. Please do this every day for half an hour at least. For those of you that never done it, just go along with us. Don't worry about how other schools do it or whatever. The idea is to get this, the voice, and this together. And I don't want you to think relaxation. Otherwise, I would say lie on the floor, go to sleep. I want you to think awareness. And for those of you that haven't done it consistently or are just beginning, I always do this so you get the difference. Let's do it again. And please don't be the kind of person, I've already done this. You're not mastering it till you do it consistently. We'll do one hand and not do the other, just because I want you to feel the difference, okay? So just sit back. Someone said you should be like a jacket on a chair, meaning if I relax truly, relax my legs, relax this, pick a hard chair, just even as you exhale and make a sound, your people in the other room will think you're an idiot. I want you to genuinely feel the body. Feel the vibration of the sound as you sit there. And once again, why we do this is to condition this. Catch yourself drifting off into la la land and go back to what you feel physically. And don't be like a robot. It's okay to shift your body weight around, all this stuff as we do it. Once again, I put on the Melbourne Actors Lab page, the Facebook page, I put a photograph of Lee Strasberg School. And there's a photograph of a bunch of people doing relaxation. I tell you, we do exactly the same work, all right? Don't fly to LA to do this. You can be anywhere in the world to do this. Do it. You need a hard chair. This is Lee's work. I always try and give credit to where it's from. Sit back in the chair, relax. Rotate your wrist right there. And I want you to feel the muscles right there. If there's ache and pain, work around it and relax as you make a sound. Once again, it's okay to shift your body weight around. This is where most people leave. This is where most people go get coffee and go, I don't need this shit. You need it. You're conditioning the body, right? Make a sound as you work. Whenever you're ready, bend this elbow right there. It looks like this. Make a sound as you work. And it's okay to take, sorry, take your shoes off, take your belt off. I remember my teacher in LA used to yell at us, let the gut hang out, let the gut hang out. Let your gut hang out. Let the body become jello, but you just need enough energy to sit in the chair. This tells us you're still in control. Whenever you're ready, up and down right there. Feel the body relaxing. And then whenever you're ready, shift your body weight around, get your head out the way, rotate this shoulder. Don't think, don't predetermine the move. I don't care if you go around, or just sit there, but I want you to genuinely feel this muscle right there. And relax. To some degree, and it's probably a very small degree. I already feel it. You feel this arm more than this one. That little awareness keeps your mind here. That little awareness connects you to the body. Sound opens up all this, and eventually we change sound to words. So the words are more connected to the body. You all understand this, because sometimes you see, I'm not connecting yet because you're up here. You don't have to do the other arm for now. I'm just cutting it down to about 10 minutes. We're going to do 2 other moves, maybe 3, and then we'll move on to other stuff. Whenever you're ready, I want you to rotate your head. If there's any pain, work around it. And what we're trying to avoid is this. Meaning just keep everything relaxed. And as you shift your body weight around, as I do, it's okay to do that. Feel your head. It's heavier than you think. This is the work of the actor. Once again, there's amazing actors that do this. Try it. You don't have Academy Awards. They do. They do this all the time. So don't be above it. All right? Do the work. We'll try 2 more moves. I'm bulldozing here, but do this at home. Sit up in your chair. Drop your arms between your legs. And as I've said in the past, crumble the body. Keep your head free. If you just stayed as I did, if you feel nauseous, open your eyes. Take time to relax the mind. Move slowly. Crumble the body as far as you can. I can't go all the way down. I've got a mic and all that stuff. Just go down, come back up slowly. And whenever you're ready, imagine you're going to punch forward. Imagine this. Imagine, let's do this. Punch forward with an explosive sound. Whenever you're ready, do this. Tilt your head back. Feel this open up. To a very, very small degree. And by very, very small degree, I mean slight things. You feel more connected to your body. You don't have time to do this on a film set most times. But if you do this consistently, you can relax in minutes. You can literally just go, and your body gets tired. You're in a film set, we hope, 8 to 10 hours. And sometimes you just want to sit and just go. It brings all this here. Do this consistently. I say this with full confidence. It can cost you a career. What I mean by that is, if you think of a ballet dancer, if you stretch more, you're able to do your moves better. If a ballerina can't stretch, it's over. Meaning, if you build this bridge and relax, your creative ideas not just flow better, they're actually translating to the body. We all want it. Everyone wants it. But it's a body, it's not a machine. And there's so many variables. What's going on in life, how you're feeling, healthy or not, cold. Imagine fucking cold. You can't work it like this. Our job is to work. So, do relaxation. Last week we did an exercise. We lay still for 40 minutes, whatever it was. Do that one again, not for a result, to learn how if someone touches you lovingly, it's different from if they just pat you on the head. It feeds you. Try all these variables just for yourself. Now, we're going to work on something now. And I'll just pick a monologue from down there. I don't care what the monologue is. It's irrelevant. Remember, these exercises are just acting skills so that when you make choices on a film set, like we said, the pillow or the chair over here, they translate better. Some of them work directly. This one could work directly. I want you all to take a piece of paper. I'll give you a minute or two to take a piece of paper, right? I've called this exercise Secrets. The reason why I'm calling this lovely class the Method 2.0, it's because it's got a lot of aspects of the method that Lee taught and some aspects of Stella, but in some cases I've combined exercises and came up with these exercises. I just told this lovely scene. I want you, we're going to work on 4 of them. Golden rule to acting, zip your mouth. It's no one's business what you're working on. A lot of times you go to an acting class, it's the worst thing to do. So tell me something about yourself. No, not open for discussion. De Niro doesn't go on a set and they go, tell me something. No, it's not none of your business. My private life is my private life. If I share things with you privately, and I do many times, is to get the point across, right? But it's no one's business what's going on in your life. It's no one's business what you've been through. But we want you to use it. Use everything, as Eric Clapton did. But it's no one's business. So I want you on here. What I mean by that is, before you start writing, I want you to write a secret. Now, you don't have to be literal. Let's assume you cheated on someone. So I cheated on my wife, whatever. No, I don't care if you write the word apple. The point is, when you look at the word apple, it's fed by all that. I know what apple means for me. And if anyone sees this on a film set, they're going to go, what's that? Just go, some lines I'm working on, man. Don't worry about it. Just some lines. They're my notes. Apple. Or you could write, because I'm just using the example of they cheated on someone, because that's from the scene closer. I apple on my partner. I lied. I cheated. Whatever it is for you. I want you to write it and put it on the ground right there. And I want you to take another piece of paper and put something else. Let's assume you were at school and you picked on someone. Put down what you called them. Put it there, right there. And then you can have 2 more. Just because I can count, and I said we'll do 4. Put it there. There's another one there. I love the way I'm dropping the papers. You can't even see them. And there's another one there. I'll put them further back. Now, there are our so-called secrets. There's 4 of them. I know you can see this right there. There they are. If they're all different, slightly different, this is why I tell people it's not enough to know the information. It's a matter of now applying acting skill to them. What I mean by that is this. Most of you, if I said, anyway, that's how you work on a secret. I could put that in a book, and most people go, I've mastered secrets. No, you haven't. Because I know what most of you do. If I said stand on this one, just by thinking about it, already makes me feel a certain way. If I sit on this one, I automatically feel a different vibe here. But what's the golden rule we've learned in the last few weeks? And we've been together for, I don't know how many weeks now. It's not enough to think about things, is it? It's not enough to think about things. Remember the golden rule with acting. Without being crass here, you can think of someone's body or touch someone's body, you'll get more aroused. I can think of these things as I step on these pieces of paper. Or I want you now, and this is where the acting skill comes into it. I want you now, whatever the situation was, let's assume this one is you picking on someone at school, or whatever it is for you. It's not this. I want you now to create, remember, this is why we do coffee cup and sensory work, to create that person that you picked on at school. Touch their shoulders. And as you do this, make a sound. And as you're making the sound, it's okay to hear the word that you used to call them. Or if you're home alone, or if the word is a safe word, say the word. Blah, 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 blah. Or blah, blah, blah is fine. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. But I need you to create the person. And let's go over here. This is the cheating, the affair. Whatever that is equivalent for you. Let's assume I cheated on someone. I would create the person I cheated on. Or with, whatever. But create them. Don't just think. Thinking is not enough. Especially if you've got a camera and there's people on a film set running around and lights and all that bullshit. Thinking goes out the window. But if you create it, it's real. And if you're a really good actor, which is what we're trying to get to here, if there's another actor here, you don't have to tell them, stand here, I'm creating someone I cheated on, or stand here, I'm creating, you don't tell them that. You just touch them accordingly, and then you say your lines, but it's there. Secret. If you had lines from a script, and I hope you get the concept now, if I said them here, after creating this, the lines would come out very differently. Same exact lines. If I said them over here. This is picking at someone. This is cheating on someone. Different vibe automatically. And the lines of the script would come out differently. And just sitting here, it feeds you. Over here, another secret. I'm picking 4. Don't think, touch, create. What if someone picked on you? Don't forget, please understand this shit. It's not therapy. Once we finish this work, you dump it. It's taken us 20 minutes to get into it. It's going to take you 20 minutes to let go. Use everything for your work. The moment you leave the set, leave it. Leave it on the set. Mickey Rourke talked about that. Al Pacino talked about it. Sean Penn talked about it when he did Dead Man Walking. I mean, it was gruesome, fucking gruesome. Apparently got into a car and just drove for miles just to get away from it. But look at the result. So whatever you're feeding off here, imagine it's happening. Let's assume someone picked on you, and I'm just using this as an example. And all of you look at me now. Let's assume we've done this in the past. Let's assume someone picked on you. Sit there now. Imagine they're poking you right here as they're saying it. Whatever it is. If I had lines now, they would come out very differently here, and they would come out very differently over here. And they would come out very, very differently over here. Blah, 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 the lines of the script. Blah, 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 the lines of the script. Blah, 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 the lines of the script. Blah, 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 the lines of the script. Now, this exercise is called secrets. And I'll try and finish it in 7 minutes or 10. We're trying to finish class by 9 o'clock. I want to see a couple of monologues and stuff. Look now. First of all, this is my mark. And I don't just stand here. In between takes, I create. Like I said, a friend of mine used to be Kazan's assistant. And he wrote a book. And he talked about how Marlon would sit there creating stuff right next to the camera, but he wouldn't tell anyone what it was. And then my mark could be here. I could literally take this piece of paper and put it in my pocket. It would feed me. And if you've got a safe word like Apple, if you really want to try something, I could take this piece of paper and give it to the other actor. Don't tell them why. You know, I'm working on this acting exercise. It's called The Method. And I want you to know, then all of a sudden, what the fuck is the matter with you? No, just say, you know what? Please put this in your pocket. I'm working on something. They won't give a shit. They'll put it there. But now they've got your secret. So automatically you feel like, oh shit. It feeds me. It feeds me. And it feeds the lines. And it feeds the moment. And all of you want you to learn something. I put apple. And let's assume the word red. And I'm just picking red because everything is red in this room. Someone called me red, or you called someone red. They got red hair. After a while, the word red or the word apple, they too lose their potency. So it's an acting skill. Someone said keep it 20% different, 80% the same. It's an acting skill to add that something else. They called you red plus short, red plus smelly. So when you're doing this now, it's a different take. I would add red plus this, red plus that. It's this plus something else. You cheated or they cheated on you plus something else. Because if you only work on the same thing every single time, the body, the mind gets smart and says, hey man, I know what you're trying to do, screw you, and shuts down. But if you add that little twist at the end, it feeds you. And great actors, and we're trying to train great actors here, like I've said in the past, please understand me, and I'm not coming out of arrogance. We're trying to create chefs here. Chefs create menus. Chefs know the work. A cook just cooks. I want you to be responsible and aware of your work, but it's a lot of work. What I mean by that is one thing to try, not once, do it once a week for the next year. Do it for half an hour, do it for an hour. You've got time. I want you to work on this skill and then manipulate the words. Now, I've explored 5 or 6 different words. I could explore red plus short, red plus this, red plus that. And I fermented them. Now I'm on a film set because I have them in the body. Because I've explored them, I don't know which one I'm going to come up with. But your body trusts you and you trust your body enough. This is what they call go with your instinct. Yeah, folks, let's be fucking real. It's not just going with an instinct. It's going with a planned instinct. Everyone gets on the football game. They've planned things. They know how to kick the ball 10,000 ways, but at the end of the ball is good. Otherwise, you're going to sit here and go, I'm going with the flow, but yeah, it's not feeding me because there's 10 fucking thousand strangers staring at me. So the body will shut down. There goes your flow. I've explored all the paths. They're in me now. There's a better chance of them coming through. This very simple exercise is one of these things. It's like playing chess or checkers. Yeah, it's easy to learn. It takes a lifetime to master. This is a skill. And I know for a fact no one teaches it here. I know why. It's a whole other discussion. But we do. And I want you to learn it. Okay? Learn it. It's a skill. And try this at home. Put this in your pocket. Have dinner with someone. At home. Put down that you cheated on someone in your pocket. Watch. Don't observe how it makes you feel. Oh, I got nervous when I picked up the fork. No. Just sit there. You'll feel it. It's guttural. That's different. So I want you to test these things out in the real world. You got me? So that they actually become part of your acting ammunition. Because it puts your work at a whole other level. And we can work off, and I'll tell you something what I mean by this. We can work off positive and negative. What I mean by this, you can work off something that you've done to someone or something that someone's done to you. And if you've had an amazing life and you haven't done anything because you're fucking Buddha and nothing's something to do with you, there's always the golden example of what if someone said something to you? What if someone said to you? What if you did that? And please remember, as we said at the very beginning of this lovely course, that's the work, folks. To put your heart and soul out there, marry it to lines, marry it to what's the character doing, and expose yourself. But you're protected by the lines. You're protected by the material. Internally, it's killing you. But how beautiful when you get it right. And it's so difficult to get right because this shuts down. That's why we relax. This gets in the way. Oh, they're judging me. No, they're busy worrying about the lights. They're busy worrying about the camera. You are the only one that's busy doing this. Not worrying about, hey, you should have done, nah. Do your work, let everyone else do that. And someone said to me, what if other actors don't work the way we do? Work with everyone. It doesn't make a difference to me how the other person works. Don't tell them how to do the work. I think you should do your work that way. And if anyone says that to you, yeah, don't be rude about it. Just go, thank you, I'll take that in. But do your work at the end of the day. Have this. And when you're done, pick up all your secrets, burn them, dump them. Do not leave them in your pocket and take them home. I've heard amazing stories from, let's call them famous people. We should use the word famous or successful. And they've actually taken, and their spouse has done, what's going on here? I'll drink some water. Now, I want you guys to think like that. That's one exercise called, what's it called? Secrets. We're going to explore secrets again and again. By the way, really quickly also, you can marry secrets. Meaning, I can marry the secret here, or I can marry the secret here. This is what happened by putting the piece of paper under here. So when I sit on this chair, I'm doing the secret. And another thing to do, let's assume you punch somebody in the face and you call them red. Don't just sit there like this going, oh, I'm focusing on the secret. Do the action on your own time. And if you don't want to show that you're punching someone, even if you just do this, so your body starts to do the move of cheating on someone. Because it's body, not up here. Let the other actors focus on here. So I want to see, I know there's one, I think it's Jazz. Let me get my technical people. And I forgot else, whoever said they're doing a monologue or a thing, let's look at this work. Let me get my people. Can I borrow you for 2 seconds? Let me know, put your mic on if you're going to do a monologue. I think there's one called Jazz. Start looking for her. Jazz, if you're there, let us know. Oh, who's doing a monologue? She's not here. And who else is the guys? Do you have anyone who wants to do a monologue? Or anyone that wants to show me their show reel? Yes? No? If they do, put it in the chat, whatever that means. Let us know. Send us a note or just put your mic on. There's got to be someone. Anyone? Okay. Text me, whatever. Let us know. I'll give you 1 more minute so I can find you. Who's doing? No one. All right. Thank you, mister. No one's doing it. If they do, I'll let you know. Wait, there's someone there. Yes. Can we see it? Anne, where are you? Yep. Go for it. Allow to talk. And can we put you up there? Where are you, Anne? There we go. Can we see you? Turn your camera on. Can we play the link? We'll play the link. And also, if we can see you, Anne, where are you? Don't have to fix your hair. It's okay. We all look like, But let's just show it to me. How are you? Put your camera on so we can see you and talk. Now, the rest of you listening. Hey, Anne, how are you? We got this. We'll play it. Okay, put it on. Now, guys, the rest of you. What the hell is wrong with you? You should all have a show reel. You should all have shit. What did we say at the beginning of this? Ready to show us. This is the work. You're a product. I need to see your work on film. That's the way it works. Get used to putting your shit out there, whether it's good or bad. That's how it gets better. You're not going to master it. Don't be one of these people that waits till you get the perfect thing to show the world. You're going to be in your living room waiting to be amazing. Get used to putting your shit out there and trying it. Hey, Ann, how are you? All right. Let's see this. We can see this, yeah? And we can see it on the screen here, or I can just see it there. Okay, but everyone else can see it? Okay, we're going to play this thing. Thanks for sharing, by the way, and here it is. Let's go. Gives.
Why is it your school?
I can't see it here.
Why am I always in the wrong? Why do I have to listen to you when you have zero to say? Because I'm young? All my life I've been young, so I never get a turn? The school is lost, if you ask me. You're lost. But everybody always talks to me like I'm the one, like I should change. What should I change? I've never even gotten to find out who I am, and you want me to change? That's crazy. You told me I'm bad before I even get to be anything. What the hell is that? Original sin or something? I read Plato. I read him on a park bench in the Bronx, so let me tell you something. Plato, you weren't afraid. Dad, you weren't afraid. Socrates, you weren't afraid of anything. They were men. Why are you the headmaster and I'm the student? Do you understand? I have to earn your respect, but you don't have to earn mine. What is that? It's you that wants the A before you even start, but when I want the same thing, I'm not surprised, not gonna cry. I'm gonna apply my belief in this world, count on it. This school has been a miracle for me, but not because of you. Because somebody, Mr. Hoffman, finally saw me. More than that, somebody, a wrong person decided I was good before I was good, and you want to throw me out of that? And you know what I say? I've never met your God, and I don't want to.
All right, let's pause this. Thank you. Can I get the screen back or no? Yeah. Let me ask you quick questions. Where's this from?
It's from a play called Prodigal Son.
Ah, right. There we go. How much time did you spend on it?
I did lots of individual times, like that specific time.
Yeah.
2
Like
hours.
overall, have you spent an hour, 2 hours, a month, a year?
Yeah, like a few months maybe. I did it a lot of different times.
By the way, thank you for sharing. We've got to, get off our freaking heads and just expose yourself. So good on you for doing that. Let me ask a quick question. In the scene, tell me what's going on in your own words.
Well, this student is talking to a head teacher that doesn't believe in them, and they're kind of from a poor background and they're in this gifted school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of the student constantly being undermined and feeling like they're not enough all the time.
Now, what is the student doing? What's on the script? Are they sitting down?
They're just standing in a classroom.
They're standing in the classroom. So the scene takes place with other students around.
No, it's like after class.
It's after class.
Yeah.
And are you there to talk to the teacher, or did the teacher invite you to talk to you?
No, I'm there to talk to the teacher.
Okay. So you said Mrs. What's the teacher's name? Just whatever in the script, whatever it is, right? We'll call him Mr. Peter. There you go. So you said, hey, I want to sit down and talk to you after class. Yes? Now, it's very good. Here's what we need to do now. First of all, be aware of some things. If you're wearing something light and the light background, change that because it's hard to see.
Okay.
Right? We want you to stand out. Get used to that. Also, and I know you just did this as a monologue. Russell Crowe once said, if you're playing a pirate, put a patch on. You got me? Right? And Alex will look at yours very soon, right? Meaning, even if you dressed as a student,
Okay.
we would buy it. But don't dress like you're dressing for the camera. Dress like you're going to that very, very, very specific school.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just going to be, well, here's my outfit, here's a generic school, and it won't feed you. Whatever that is for you privately. Now, don't forget also, what you're wearing on the outside could be school uniform. You could be wearing something internally, where they go, you know, if they saw what I'm wearing internally, they'll realize I'm dead fucking broke. There's a very famous story of Marlon Brando doing a scene and the character was broke and he had a hole in his sock. And we did what we all do, with all, you know, he took the sock, folded it over and then put the shoe on. The camera doesn't see that, but he fed him poverty. Now, without giving any prior information, I want you to understand this. You don't have to tell me. Don't. Who are you talking to? Give me the first name. And if you don't want to give me a first name of someone you know, do you know who you're talking to? You as, yes?
Yeah.
Now, when you do that, try this now. Get up. Get up, get up, get up. I want you to take time. Remember we did earlier I want you to create that person right in front of you right now. Close your eyes if you want to. And when you create a person, touch their shoulders, touch their arms, their hands, touch their face. It's okay to make a sound. Just, yeah, it feels stupid. Make a sound. Now, in the script, you said she's dead broke and she's poor and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So whatever it is that this person in front of you, it's not therapy, is saying about you, or whatever you don't want to hear about you, as you're creating them, I want you to hear them saying it. You got me?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's okay to focus on one word. You understand me?
Yeah.
Now, Stella was very ruthless. She'd go straight for the throat. I want you to figure out whatever you don't want to hear. Keep creating them. You can't do this for a few minutes. Keep creating them. And as they're doing it, look at me really quickly. They're doing this to you. They're saying that word and going. And it's okay to hear it and just say stop. Just stop. Keep creating them. And every now and then as you hear them, just say, please stop. And just say, I told you to stop. Say whatever you want to. Right? And if you don't want to say anything, just, I'm not here. Forget us. We're not here. Forget us. All right? But just tell them to stop. Make a sound in lieu of saying stop.
Stop.
And they said it again and they poked you again.
Stop.
Take about 2 steps back. Just so I can see. There you go. And tell them to stop again. What's the opening line of the script? Of the monologue?
Why is it your school?
Yep. Keep going. Now, when you say, why is it your school? I want you to think of something that you would say to that person across those lines. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Could be your house, could be whatever you like. And tell them to stop again.
Stop.
Tell them to stop again.
Stop.
I want you now. Don't think school. Don't be literal. Whatever this person is, I don't care if it's a friend or family, whatever. Imagine you have to leave and pack up your shit and start getting ready to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's assume you picked your brother. You're going to go, you know, motherfucker, I'm out of here. Let's assume you pick mom and dad. I'm going to get my shit and get out of here. You could argue now keep doing it. They said they poked you again. And just say stop.
Stop.
And just tell them, beg them to stop. Say, I'm sick and tired of you telling me this shit. I'm sick and tired of you poking me on the shoulder. And whenever you feel like it, blend in the lines of the script. I'm not here. Go for it. Don't worry about it, getting it right.
Stop it. Don't touch me. Why are you always in charge? Joe, why is it your school?
Take 2 steps back. Take 2 steps back. Keep going. Now, I want you all of you, while you're listening, I want you to understand one other thing. It's okay to repeat certain lines. See, once again, we know the script, so we only do the lines. I don't care. Keep saying the words of the script as you keep creating this. Don't stop creating it and don't stop the poking. Keep saying just the lines of the script. Just say them out as they come. Go for it.
Why is it your school? Why?
It's okay to ad lib. Keep going. It's okay to throw in the word stop every now and then. And you can say, stop doing that.
Why am I always in the wrong? Stop it!
And then blend in the lines.
Why do I have to listen to you when you have zero to say? Because I'm young? All my life I've been young, so I never get a turn? Stop.
Now, while you're doing this, I want you to put someone else in the room that you don't want them to hear this information. What if your mom was next to you or your dad and they saw you suffering like this? Do you understand me? Yes?
Yeah.
Or someone else hearing you. Keep going. Ad lib. It's okay to ad lib. Don't stop talking. Don't stop.
Stop.
And then just blend in the lines. Forget the script. Just throw in the whatever line comes to you.
Why am I always in the wrong? Why do I have to? Why do I have to listen to you? You have zero to say. Because I'm young.
Keep going.
I
want you to do something. I want you to do something. I want you to imagine you're leaving your house tonight. Whether that makes sense for you or not is irrelevant. I want you to pick 3 things that you're going to take from your room and get ready to say goodbye to your house. You're leaving your house because of this person. They're in your room and they're saying, it's my room, motherfucker, get out of here. You got a minute to leave. Say the rest of it as you leave. And they're laughing at you. They're winning. They're saying, yep, I'm taking over your room.
Why is it your school?
See that? You hear that? Don't stop. Blend the words. I don't want you to say the words of the script now. I want you to ad-lib the script completely. I don't want to hear one word from the script. Go for it. You got a minute to tell them what you think. Otherwise, they're going to win.
Why are you in charge? Why does everyone like you?
Yep, forget the lines of the script. Pack your stuff. Take 3 things from your room that matter.
I'm taking it.
They're telling you to fuck off. They're saying go.
Shut up! Shut up, okay? I'm going.
And before you leave, tell them why you're leaving. You're sick and tired of all their shit. Just say it. Go for it.
All the time. It's always about you. It's always about you. It's never about me. And you just want to stay here and listen to it forever. I can't do that.
Now, I want you to hear, when you say you're young, I want you to hear what they say to you instead of just young. Young isn't powerful enough. What else are they saying? You're not just young, you're this, you're this, you're that. What else are you? Hear them say it and blend in the lines.
I work so hard for everything I have, and you always just want to push me down. You walk in and you don't even do anything, and you just get what I worked so hard for.
They're saying you haven't worked hard for shit. What in this room have you worked hard for? Show me in this room what you worked hard for.
Everything I have, every certificate, every...
Ah, see that? See?
It has my name on it, not yours, okay? I worked hard for it.
Well, they're going to take it now because you're young and you're still in all these things.
You can't take it. You're taking so much from me.
All right, let this go for a sec. Let this go. Let this go. Now, this was 5 minutes of work. What you did on the clip is good. It shows me you have what they call an emotional range. The issue is when you're ad-libbing, the words sound connected. When you're saying the lines, you've memorized already how to say them. And they come out exactly the same way. It's what's on tape. Don't rediscover everything and do something. When I asked you, what have you worked for? Look, there's a wonderful called in the glimpse of an eye, meaning there was a split second there where we saw you fighting for that line. It wasn't a neck up line. And we fight very hard to have more of those glimpses. Even if she's in the schoolroom saying, hey man, I've worked hard to get here. And who you put in the room is up to you. There's a rich kid right there. So whoever you compete with, put their stuff there. This is a good one for you. Okay? I want to see this again next week for 5 minutes. I don't want you to do the script. I want you to sit there and blend 50% of your own words and 50% of that person. And make this real. And who you're talking to is very private. And also who you put, look, if I had someone like that telling me down and I put my kids in the room, I'd feel like shit. So who you put next to your room that loves you and it's breaking their heart will also feed you. Otherwise, guess what? All this around you is dead space and you're only doing the camera. But it's okay to do it in your room because we could say this person's here, they kicked me out of your room. You know what I'm saying? There's many layers of this, but don't just do the lines because when we do a film like that, the monologue you did, as an actor, we're just trying to push the emotion. Leave. Take your work with you. Have you seen Doubt, the film? Watch Doubt, watch Viola Davis. That speech, she's only got one speech, it's brilliant. That's the equivalent of this for you. You got me?
Yeah.
If I might have time during the week, send me an email, find me God knows where, all right? Or a note saying Peter, and we'll spend 5 minutes on it to see where it could go, because this takes time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you have a show reel?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Can I see it next week?
Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant. Right? Add this on there, but replace it with actually filming with a thing on there. Can I see Alexander's one? We'll talk again, Anne, but thank you for doing this, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Get more shit out there.
Thank you.
Okay, Alex, I'll see yours next week. I got Jazz to do it. Jazz is here. She was booked from last week. Okay, Alex? Let's see Jazz's. Where is it? Where are we?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I want to see you.
Should I put my video on?
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
And can you send us the link to your thing again? How are you?
I'm
Do your
good. How are
show.
you?
Good. Where's the link?
I sent it to you on email.
Yeah, probably you did.
Do you want me to send it again?
Yeah, send it again.
Okay, sure.
I'll send it to this address.
Just send it to the
which
same
one?
message group that we were talking to.
Send it to the same message group we're talking to now.
Well, she was talking to me when you went.
Oh, when you spoke to Nick earlier. You spoke to someone, right?
Yeah, on the Facebook group.
Yes, send it to that group.
Okay, sure. 1 second.
And then he can put it there.
You can do Alex now if you want, since it's not like set up.
Now I'm trying to get out of here on time because this poor guy's volunteering his time and he's got a life. And I try to keep to like 9-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Right.
Let me.
And we'll watch Alex's next week.
Because the thing is, I send it to you, Peter, on a Google Drive link, and that's something he's going to have to download, and it will take a bit of time. So if it'll be faster to do Alex, I don't mind.
Yes? No?
It'll work. If you just share the Google Drive link.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
share it to him.
Okay.
Shall I see Alex's really quickly?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Yes. Alex, let's see yours, man. Where's Alex's? Where's Alex? We'll get to Alex.
It's in the chat, Peter. So if you just follow the link.
Yep. Imagine you're talking to a complete idiot over here when it comes to computers. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's in the link. How's that? That sounds so intelligent. It's in the link. Hey, mister, how are you? Let's see Alex's. By the way, let's all agree on this. A lot of what we see here is what we call good. That monologue that Anne showed us is good. And good is forgettable. You got me? Good is what we call forgettable. We don't want good. We want, oh my God, what happened? There's a great line where Kazan said, if they forget you by the time they get to the car, you failed. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, yeah, I could think of that and go, wow, it's forgettable. It's good, but we need to take it further. Let's see Alex's. Everyone can see this? Let's see this. Good start, Alex. It looks good already. And then we'll watch Jazz's, then we're done for the night. Nice.
Definitely not. Matching housemates at all. Housemates. How's it going, mate? All right? Bloody good. High five. We got a cosmic goat delivered this clock to us this morning. Yeah. And he said to us, we need to get ourselves some meat for a party. We're thinking sausages for free. What do you think? Well, I don't think it's going to happen. His mate's sponsor of the party of the year. Huh? That sounds nice. Yeah, does that sound good? Let's go start. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Jack, saw you at the gym this morning.
I don't care.
Okay.
You're any kind of stalker, you know you hate Dave. Now? There he is.
Good day.
I got you something.
Where'd you get that?
In town. Tonight.
This is very kind of you, Mr. Lund.
Told you to have it. It's yours. Back and forth, banter between us is beautiful.
It's sweet and it's sensitive.
There's a party. Party's going on tonight. Things might happen, you know.
The fuck?
You know the law. Relationship between organics and synthetic.
Ah, love her. Okay. I can go back and forth, yes? We're going to watch this again. I assume everyone can see this, yes? Let's start from the beginning, and I'll pause it and push play, whatever. Yep, this right? Okay, thank you. Really quickly, what's the rest of this? This scene. I can't hear you. Why can't I hear him? Anik, I can't hear him. I can't hear you, Xander.
Sorry, mate.
Okay. Yeah, let's start again. Where's the rest of the scene?
So where's the rest of it? So basically, you just discovered a really rich vein of gold, and the scene is pretty soon after where I cut it. It's just they actually give us probably about 20 seconds of just discovering the gold, and we kind of cry and that sort of thing happens. But that's kind of, it's pretty soon after where I cut it.
I think you cut it too soon.
Okay.
We're about to do that, and it just gets cut off. Now, this is from an actual film, I assume, that you filmed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, and I want you to think like Stella does. Could this, let's watch it. Look. This could also be someone discovering 20 cents.
Yeah, okay.
How long has he looked for gold?
A long time.
A long time, right?
Yes.
A long time. How desperate are you that you need the gold? Meaning, if you've got, money in the bank and you find gold, you go, hey, I found another nugget.
Mm.
If your life depended on it, and this is not your fault, this is the director's fault, you find gold. It doesn't happen every day. It could have been bigger.
Mm.
Now, I know how actors think. Just think there, not actors, directors, think there and go, oh, yes, yes, we found it, yes. You know what Raul Julia said? You know Raul Julia, the actor?
Mm.
Brilliant actor. He said, if I was on the moon, I wouldn't say one small step for mankind. I'd say, I'm on the fucking moon, motherfuckers. It's a great line.
Mm.
You found gold. My God. Now, it's hard for us as actors to discover gold because who the fuck has found gold? It could have been much bigger. And by bigger, I don't care if you pick up the guy and hug him and throw him up and down.
Mm.
It could have been bigger.
Mm.
And it should have been bigger
Mm.
because they find gold. Now, if you're finding gold because you're working on the chain gang and the boss takes it, I don't give a shit, man. He's the gold. I'm saying live. But if you find gold, it's your reward. Oh my God. What have you found it? Let's look back. Let's look back. How did you find the gold?
So we'd kind of been digging at this one line for, I think, several weeks, and it's just been left for a few hours alone, and he's literally peeled away with his fingers because his fingernail caught something.
So but what have you been using to find that gold?
Pickaxes, basically.
Where's the pick and axe?
Where's the pickaxe?
Yes.
It's on the ground out of shot.
Now, these are just suggestions.
Yeah.
You could have taken the pick and axe. You could have thrown it up in the air. You could have kept on digging. They probably wouldn't let you.
We were in an actual mine, so
oh my God, I would have kept on fucking digging.
Over our heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could have kept on digging. Could have gone, oh, it's here, it's here. You could have, I'm saying could have, guys. Could have picked him up and had a celebration or a dance and gone back to it.
Hmm.
The point is, that could have satisfies a bigger choice, which is finding gold.
Hmm.
This is good, but it's also finding 20 other things. Do you understand what I'm saying or not?
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
The point is this, directors don't think like that. Or a director said, give me something bigger. And it doesn't have to be literal, Zan. You could have been you getting an audition. I want you to catch yourself in life. Even if you win a fucking game of Monopoly, we get more excited than that. You got me? Watch the audience on a football game when their team wins. What happens?
Explosion.
Explosion. And that's just a fucking football game. This is finding gold. So it needs to be bigger in that respect. Remember what I said? The script is the master. This moment has capacity to be much bigger. Bigger than winning a football game. Because the person in the audience who wins the football game, their life ain't going to change. They're going to go back to the shitty little car and go home. Bigger. Now, there's nothing worse than doing this. Yay! And your brain goes, what the fuck am I jumping around for? What the fuck am I jumping? I don't believe a moment. And then you shut it down. You keep finding things. Yes, my team won. Yes, I won in Monopoly. I love Monopoly. Yes, I got the fucking call back. Yes, this worked. Yes, yes, motherfucker, everything worked. So you keep feeding it with things that are yes.
Yeah.
Because one thing, killer. Your body starts to not believe it. I don't believe the gold. And then you look around and the director goes, what is this bullshit method actor doing? Fuck it. Let's just go back to the little hug. Your hands would have been exhausted. Your hands would have been bleeding. Correct? Now, do you know any people that dug for gold with their bare hands?
No.
Even that little scrape. There's a film right now with Mark Ruffalo. He plays a painter. Watch, his hands are full of things. I want you to understand something. And I'll do this very quickly so we can get on to jazz as it won't be done. I saw this horrible documentary once about these people that were working in the concentration camps, and their job was to remove the bodies from the oven. Horrible shit. But he said, and I share this with you, remember, just for acting purposes, he said when you remove the body, a lot of the skin would come off because it was all shitty, and they had to wear cloth. And you see these people in these documentaries, and they've got cloth tied around their hands so that the cloth is between them, so that when they pick the body, it doesn't slide. That's a little detail that you find, meaning when you're digging with your bare hands, what could your guy have?
Well, no
If he
fingernails
did-
left.
What?
No fingernails left.
Yep, but find some things. Find even a bandage to show me that you've been digging. I want you to dig your garden this weekend for an hour. Watch what happens to your nails. See, and you've got to explore these choices because they add meaning. It's good, but it's forgettable. Let's get to the next one. I would get rid of the next one, by the way.
Okay.
Look at that. I would get rid of this, by the way. I'd get rid of this.
Cool.
It looks like it's just improvised. It's in the moment. The other stuff is much stronger that you got after this.
Cool.
And it doesn't really go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? All right? Yep, I'd get rid of that.
High five. Got cosmic goat delivered this morning. Yeah. And we need sausages.
Yeah, fuck that.
That sounds nice.
This, yeah, let's talk about this. Tell me what's going on in this scene.
God, this is 6 or 7 years ago.
You haven't changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Babyface. So she's coming in she's accusing him a little bit of having a bit of a homoerotic relationship with his best friend.
Right.
So she's coming in and she's going, saw you at the gym, saw you with this guy who works with him in their office, and she's ribbing him a little bit. She knows they're not gay, but she's just teasing him a little bit. And he's just.
And is this part of a short film? Is this part of a short film that you did?
Yeah, short film, yeah.
Okay. And let's see it.
Having a bit of a homoerotic relationship with his best friend.
Yep.
She's coming in and she's.
Okay, let's talk really quickly for that one. If I turn the volume off, let's turn the volume off. No, I don't have to turn it off. I'm just saying if. Look what I see without any of the words.
You're only kind of.
Look what we see.
You're only kind of stalker. You know you hate to stay.
Okay. If I substituted the words to what are you having for lunch? I'll have pizza. It could look like that, correct? Could. Nothing wrong with it. Who's coming to your desk? Now, if you want to act cool and calm, which is okay, that's a choice, there has to be that moment of, holy fuck, she's coming. You got me? There has to be that moment, oh my God, here she comes. I better get the fuck out of here. Or do something. Meaning the character is sitting there doing his work, and probably that's how they directed it, or just pretend like you're scribbling. What are you writing on there? So that when she comes, you go, shit, I don't want her to see this. I actually am confessing something here. Even the secret, if you put the secret down, that you're going to change your behavior. There's that secondary depth missing there. Do you understand me? Or not?
No, I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's missing.
Yeah.
It's not someone coming over. It's you know exactly why she's coming over. And there would be a different chemistry in the body. See, a lot of people, here's what I want you to understand. A lot of actors say, well, my character is cool and they don't want to show it. If you don't boil the water and then hide it, you're going to end up in the category of actors that are creating nothing. They're just acting cool, but there's nothing underneath it. It's that underneath that makes the difference between Brando and someone else wearing a leather jacket. Or all the other great actors. You got to change it to, your shit, she's coming over. I would have, whatever you like on your screen or there. I don't want it to see it. And just change that. It's a split second, but it's needed there. You understand me? Now, tell me about this one really quickly. And I'm kind of bulldozing. We're trying to.
It's the
Tell me
same
about this.
same film as the opening sequence. He's developed a relationship with his co-miner's wife, essentially. He has pawned her most valuable possession, which is a gold cross that her husband has bought her. And this young kid who is working on their mine shaft has gone and bought it back from the pawnbroker and is giving it to her.
And she is someone's wife?
She is the guy he's in the mine with. He is working illegally in this other guy's shaft.
Yep.
And it's his wife.
If you approach someone else's wife and give her a piece of jewelry, what could that look like? Now, I don't want this.
No.
That's show and tell.
No.
Give me something.
No. Yeah.
It's someone. Now, one other thing. If you buy a necklace, and we can justify this 1,000 ways, I want you to understand this. Everyone can justify their choices. At the end of the day, what we judge is what's on the film here. If you buy a necklace for your wife, how could he present it to her?
Well, he could pick a better time.
But the timing you can't change because that's in the script.
Yeah. He could have it dressed up in a box. He could do it. He could present it a little bit more nicely.
Even a piece, even a handkerchief, a cloth.
Yeah.
You're not giving her an apple.
Yeah.
Now people go, Peter, does that really matter? It's something. That's what a gift looks like. Here's the difference. Hey, honey, you dropped your necklace. I found it on the table. That's not a gift. This is a gift. And the director won't tell you that. I want you to next time to give her a gift. This is a gift. This is not. The director probably said, here's the necklace. No, motherfucker, it's a gift. 10 minutes? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, good. Brilliant. Jazz will do yours next week. I'll get technical people. I won't be here. We're going to fuck it up next week. It's going to be brilliant. Right?
No, don't worry. I don't want you to rush.
No. We'll do it next week because I want to spend a bit more time on this. Xander, did you get me, man?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, totally.
It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. And always ask yourself this, all of you. If this looks like something else and like something else, this choice isn't strong enough. It's a gift. And you would do something with it, or you could. You could hide it. You could show it. And guess what? You don't have to be literal. I got news for you. Let's assume you did this and you're going to give this actress the gift. Even if you looked around for your wife to go, where the fuck's my wife? I'm about to give this necklace to a woman. Even that would feed you. You got me? Because if your wife saw you giving a necklace to that woman, she's going to go, what the fuck's going on? So even if I put that in the back of my mind, I could get a brief moment where I look around. All we want is that brief moment. And bad directors go, I want you to look around on the third line. No, look around when you see fucking something, a bird or something. Go, oh shit, that's one. Something. And unfortunately, we do these takes again and again for technical reasons. We need that moment, right? But it's good that you got that. Definitely got the second piece. Yep, got me something. We've seen that. This is okay. I'd keep it. It needs work, but keep it there just for filler. You got me? But eventually, I'll tell you why I like this. Shut up. There's a side of you there that we don't see in other stuff. That's the only reason. But the moment you can replace it, replace it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Always change this. This here. Okay. Let's talk about that moment. And once again, I'm not playing it's both. It's director and actor together. What are they doing? These two.
They're having illegal sex.
Illegal sex.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you're about to have illegal sex, you're about to make love to your mistress, and your wife walked in, that's different. What if someone walked in? Let's assume it's her husband. Would you run out the room? Would you?
Probably not.
What could you do? Other than, and I want you to understand something, this is an actor waiting for the other actors to turn up and do the scene.
Mm.
It is.
Mm.
You could have done something more.
Mm.
Because now you might say, Peter, I felt it different. I would say, yeah, well, at the end of the day, we also see someone turning around going, okay, we've rehearsed this scene. There's the two guys. Come get me. Run, motherfucker.
Mm.
Run.
Mm.
I'll give you a quick example. There's two scenes. One of them is in Mystic River, and the other one is in The Untouchables.
Mm.
De Niro plays Al Capone, right? It's at the end of the scene, you know, the courtroom scene.
I haven't seen
And
it.
Bob says, Kevin Costner says to Bob's character some shit. He says something, and he says, what did you say to me? And Bob goes to tackle him. When they did that, they had no one, and Bob literally went for him to kill him.
Mm.
And he said, I don't want to hold myself back, because the character wouldn't. Al Pacino would go up to him and punch the fucker out of him. So they got two really big guys to hold him back.
Mm.
He didn't stop.
Mm.
There's another scene in Mystic River where Sean Penn finds the naked body of his daughter in the park.
Mm.
And they did this take. And they had two cops there. And Sean Penn went like this. And they said, oh, excuse me, you're meant to stop there and say your line. And Sean Penn said, I would not fucking stop if my daughter's naked body's in the park. Fuck you.
Mm.
So they tried it, and there's only two people there, and Sean Penn walked right through them. Watch the film. Now there's 30 cops there.
Mm.
You could have said, if these guys came in, I'd try and run away. I'd fucking throw shit at them.
Mm.
Don't forget, you're naked. Get the fuck out of the room.
Mm.
Let them stop you.
Mm.
And if you rehearse it like that, it's called drama for a reason.
Mm.
This is casual. This is also someone coming in and going, hey, sorry, Xander, I'm just here to get my shoes. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And you're going to go, okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Get your shit and get out of here.
Yeah.
You understand how it serves two things?
Yeah.
Look. Got me?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that initial moment of finding out who it is, and then he takes a split second to go, I know why they're here.
Yeah.
I know I'm wrong.
Yeah. He's like, the context is he's a robot, and robots aren't allowed to have sex with humans, is the idea.
Yes, I know that. But remember what I said now. You know what that makes you look like? Nothing.
No, I'm not making excuses.
No, I know that. The point is, then you've got to find all that other stuff within the context of a robot. Maybe moves differently, but robots understand enemy, escape. You know what I'm saying? All right. It's we talked about earlier. All right, but it's still good footage. Just hide your choices. This, I'd fucking run, man. I'd try and go for him, and people go, "What? A fucking robot would punch him."
Yeah.
Let them stop you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you got me. And then it's a matter of figuring out with the director. What if I went to her? Let them fucking stop you. It's life. I'd get out of there, even as a robot, or I'd walk by. I'm very powerful. I'd just go something.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yeah.
And we could also argue, yes, he's a robot, but maybe he's emotional enough to make love to someone.
Sure.
So there's always something.
That's a good point.
That's why Blade Runner is brilliant, by the way. Great actress.
I married her.
I know. What's that moment there?
So that's basically he's the lobby boy at a hotel. He's a lobby android.
Right.
She comes to see him after he's been re-educated. And the idea is that he doesn't recognize her, but he does. So the idea is that he's been rebooted, and she's come because she's had real feelings for him, but he's just trying to kind of keep that feeling hidden.
Let's see this. She's very good. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's too short, but okay.
Mm.
I want you to learn something. That was it was a good moment.
Mm.
Could have gone further, much further. Here's what I want you to understand. Even in that moment when you look at her, if you give them something more, they'd probably stick with it more.
Mm.
What that more is, it's open.
Mm.
It could be her. I mean, I'm just stabbing in the dark here. Could be her knowing a secret. Could be her. I don't know. Even if I said to you, look at her and find something. There's so much room there for
Mm.
so many more layers that aren't there. It's a good showreel. Please don't get me wrong.
Good.
It's
Sure.
gonna pass. Here's what I tell people: you might get a second or third callback with that,
Mm.
but we're after getting the role.
Mm.
That's different.
Mm.
Eventually, if it goes down to 2 people and someone had more of those moments of the victory of finding the gold, the role's gone.
Mm.
So it's a good showreel.
Mm.
But find moments. I want you to really quickly look, even if a moment is very, very good, and this is the whole scene, there's moments that we tweak,
Mm.
and that's our choice. The victory in the moment could have been bigger. The shock of you about to make love, and all of a sudden, what the fuck? There's an initial shock, like what is this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
All those little moments add that style. And a lot of times, I know it's directors, and I know it's people saying, we've got no time, we've got no budget, we're going to get out of here. So our work gets bulldozed. But you should come up with those choices, say, which moment can I heighten the most? Stella used to say, what the Jews say is, why is tonight different from every other night? She meant today's heightened.
Mm.
What moment, what beat in a scene is heightened above any other moment? You should plant those in there from now on in your work. One beat and add that layer.
Mm.
But definitely get rid of that butcher's thing.
Yeah, cool. Easy done.
Yeah, everything else is solid. Keep working on it.
Yeah, cool.
And
Awesome.
don't just shoot stuff. I like it because it's stuff actually shot in location. And that trumps everything.
Mm.
You got me?
Mm.
But keep going out there because you're a good actor.
Thank you.
Okay? I'm going to see some more stuff next week. I'll figure out how to do it technically. Good luck. All right? And we'll talk, guys. Please, all of you, grab a script. Do it without the words. Even if Xander took that gold scene and got really excited about it, let's see that next week. I want you to see getting excited about gold.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yep. And find out what the scene looks like without the words. Okay? Really quickly, some order of business. I have a podcast. It's called, I don't know what it's called, Inside the Lab with Peter Kalos. Find it. We talk about all this shit. And I'll see you all next week. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye. Ciao.
See you, Peter. Kalnichta.
Thanks, guys. Yes, Kanikta. Bye.
Thanks, Peter.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, all of you. All right, mister. Thank you.
Adios.
Thank you. Yeah, try and.